All right, so here's a case of outrage that I've seen against Bernie Sanders that's from his own fan base. Okay, this is totally from his own fan base. So, you guys remember Christy Smith? Who is Christy Smith? Well, Christy Smith was Cenk Uygur's Democratic challenger. Now, it was a jungle primary. Here in California, we have jungle primaries, which means everybody, regardless of party, they go at it. Top two go to the general election. So Cenk Uygur got about 6.5%. So he did not make the top two. Actually, a lot of people really outdid him. Two Republicans did pretty well as well. I think it was Steve Knight and Mike Garcia. And then there was Christy Smith, who is the main Democrat. And Christy Smith is running in California 25. Now, the truth about that district was Cenk Uygur should have never ran in that district. One of the worst decisions ever. Looking back at it, now that I have more information on the race and the area, but that district is a purple district, and it's a district that has a high median income. Not to say that necessarily if it has a high median income, it can't elect a progressive. But that district specifically was a terrible district to choose to run in. So it was a bad move on Cenk's part. That is a very, very purple district, and it's likely to even flip back red now. So that's how purple we're talking here. So he ran. It didn't pan out. Bernie Sanders sends out a tweet saying Californians. Christie for California 25 is on the ballot for tomorrow's special election, which I guess is today. In the 25th Congressional District, vote to send Christie to Congress to fight for working families and send the message that Californians reject President Trump's hateful agenda. Now, the reason why he's sending this out is because all the Democrats are in a panic right now because it looks like Mike Garcia might win. Like, it looks like there's a good shot that Mike Garcia, a Republican, will win. And so people got really angry at this tweet. Justin Jackson saying, LMAO, Bernie really a party loyalist? You hate to see it. This one says, no, this one says, I just keep getting more and more disappointed in you. This one says, what the WTF happened to you? This one's the Naruto meme of, I don't know about that one, Chief. Oh my god, this is how bad Christie's polling. They had to ask Bernie for help. Maybe they shouldn't have done a hatchet job in the candidate Bernie originally endorsed for the race. This one says, yeah, no, I'm not on board with this one. This one is Christie's an establishment puppet. But I don't have to list any more of these. This one just says WTF, expanded format. But the truth of this is not something that warrants backlash. So I'm going to explain to you why. Now, there's one caveat that I will add that, okay, maybe you have a point on, which is but listen, this is why it's not a problem, okay? This is a district, okay? And this is what you have to understand about a district. A district is populated by a very specific group of people. Again, that's a high median income, purple, damn near right wing. This has been a district that's been red for a long, long time. I think the first time it flipped blue was with Katie Hill last time. So this is a very, very red / little bit purple district with the high median income. A progressive can't win this district. And so then it comes down to, okay, well, who's better, the Democrat or the Republican? Is the person who's not in favor of Obamacare, better than the one who is in favor of Obamacare? I think that Christy Smith is better than the Republican in that race, and I don't think Cenk Uygur could have won this district no matter what. Didn't matter how much money he had. Didn't matter how much media support he had, even if the corporate Democrats supported him. I just don't think it would have happened. I really don't. His policies are just too progressive for that specific district, and this is a reality that a lot of people are going to have to cope with, is that in literally every district in America, it's impossible for a progressive to win every single district. Because a district is a tiny slice. I can't vote for Cenk Uygur in that district. Could you? I guarantee 90% of you couldn't. I bet you 90% of you watching right now said you couldn't vote for him. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, is this is not something that warrants backlash. Now, one thing people will say is, oh, well, Bernie needs to endorse other Democratic incumbents. So you may be right about that, but even then, the responses that you're giving don't make sense. Where it's like, what happened to you, Bernie? The dude he's endorsing a Democrat over a Republican who looks like he's going to win. What are you surprised about? And also people seem to think that Bernie has some high standards. Like the dude just, backed out of a race basically because he didn't want to, attack his friend. And you have high like for me, Bernie Sanders, Bernie is just kind of dead to me at this point. He probably will be for a while, right? So I don't know why people have all these high standards. But regardless of whatever standard you have, his tweet here is not a problem, and the backlash is not warranted. People are just being stupid. But if you want to say that he should be endorsing some challengers to incumbents, I don't think he should challenge or endorse Shahid Buttar, because I think he doesn't have a chance to win, but I think that his race is still beneficial and that he pushes Nancy Pelosi leftward. But that, again, that's a district. That's a district, not even a statewide race. That district has been voting Nancy Pelosi for decades. You really think they're going to replace Nancy Pelosi? Shahid Buttar got like 7 points in the first election. So if we're talking about other Dem challengers with a real shot to win, then I agree with you. I agree with you. But when it comes to that Shahid Buttar race, he can't win, and so you're asking him to do this really weird deed. But if you're talking about other Dem challengers who really have a chance, I agree with you. I agree with you. But not on the Shahid Buttar one. And again, I support Shahid Buttar. I really do. But to ask Bernie to endorse him just doesn't really make sense, because then you get this sort of, remember Nancy Pelosi was already kind of bending the knee a little bit, in public anyway. Maybe not in private, she was conspiring against Bernie, but in public at least she was sort of bending the knee to Bernie Sanders. But yeah, weird response, an illogical one if you ask me.